Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is Friday, the 28th day of the month of November, 2025, Friday of the 34th and the final week of our church year. Out here again with Puppy, as he's sitting out here. It is very cold, but Puppy decided to come out to be in the sun a little bit. It is the Friday of our final Friday of our church year of 2024-2025. Advent is on the horizon, coming up this weekend. Already we've made it to the end of the year of Luke, and now the year of Matthew dawns before us this coming weekend. Is also the day after Thanksgiving, so hopefully everyone has had a good Thanksgiving and continue to be able to give thanks for everything that we have, to be conscious of everything that we have, even in the midst of the trials and the difficulties and the challenges that we face. So on this Friday of the last week of our year, we continue the narrative of Daniel, and today we are given this great vision that Daniel is given by God of how God's authority and God's power will be more powerful than anything else that can stand against it, and even of the human contraptions and the human contrivances that we come up with that make us think that we are powerful, or that we have all kinds of power and authority when actually we have nothing, because it all belongs to God. And so this great vision of a lion, of a bear, of a leopard, and then of some kind of unnamed horrific creature that has a lot of horns. And again, each of them representing one corner of the world, trying to exert authority and dominance over every other. But it is that last terrifying creature that really has no name except to be called terrifying, that has so many horns and a tiny, tiny horn, which is kind of ridiculous at times, but a tiny, tiny horn it appears amidst the other horns, and three of the horns are displaced and broken off so that this little tiny horn can have room, and has eyes of a man and has mouth of a human being, and it speaks arrogant terms. Again, just the image of it, the tiny, tiny little horn, thinking that it can do all kinds of powerful things when it actually has nothing. And then the judgment throne of the Ancient One is set up, which is blazing in fire, whatever it is, and each of these creatures, the bear, the lion, the leopard, and then this horrific creature, are thrown upon the fire and die because they mean nothing, and they have no power. Even though they try to speak arrogantly, they have no power whatsoever. And then the vision comes of one like the Son of Man, who stands before the throne of the Ancient One, and then who is given power and authority over everything. Again, all of this points not only to the end of time for Daniel, but it also points again to the power of Christ coming within time, to be able to give us what it is that we need, to give us the hope that we need, the identity that we need, the reality and truth that we need to live by as human beings. And we must be able to be aware of that, which is why then in Luke's gospel today, we have Jesus saying, you can read the signs, in nature and in the world. Again, when the fig trees blossom, that figs are coming and summer is near. So again, read the signs of this world and of this time, to recognize where God again is doing something wonderful and glorious, where God again is giving us a hope in the midst of despair and light in the midst of darkness, where God is constantly at work in this world. Again, we can get so distracted by everything that is terrible and awful and sad around us, to forget that God is greater than all of these things. And it's important always to remember this power of God. And so that as we conclude, this church here once again, we are allowed to see, or we are challenged to see where it is that God is at work in our lives, in this world, in the world around us, to read these signs, and know always that the kingdom is coming, the kingdom is growing, the kingdom is being revealed in our midst. We are favored enough to be able to experience that. From Puppy and me, where is he? There he is over there. From Puppy and me, a blessed day, St. Francis and people of God, and may the Lord give you his peace.